Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of October 21st, 2024. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here who is recording tonight's meeting? All right, thank you. I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:33. Have a roll call of the members in attendance, please.
Jim Foran.
Brendan Doyle.
Kate Thompson.
Mike Greco.
And Mark Mungem. All right, first item on the agenda is meeting minutes. What meeting minutes do we have to look at? Because I don't have anything in my file. Are we all good on them? Are we caught up? Did
What?
July 15th?
What?
We did
Really?
July 15th at the last meeting, and I don't think we have anything new, so guess we don't have to talk about meeting minutes. That's a first, huh?
You really caught up?
It's been a long time.
Wow.
Well, we're a little behind on minutes, but,
That means you caught up? A little behind, yeah.
all right. Next item on the agenda is a review of our upcoming meeting schedule for 2025. I believe I heard we had two different schedules being proposed, Matt, is that correct?
Most are, one are the first and third Mondays, and the next one is the second and fourth. But you miss a couple of meetings because of the holidays, second and fourth. But this is really about Brandon's availability and when he can be here, so.
Yeah. And I'm forgetting. There was a back and forth with Jen.
We talked about the first and third,
That's the one we decided on?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're typically first and third, and I thought that's what was better for you.
It was, but Mattapoisett is meeting first and third, and they can't do second and fourth because planning board has second and fourth, and it can't reschedule, so I'm going to ask that you do second and fourth.
First and third, second and fourth, I don't think it makes any difference to me.
No, it doesn't to me.
I mean, it's Monday, it's a Monday evening, I don't know that it matters to me. I don't know about other commission members. You're okay?
Flexible.
Kate? All right. Brendan, any thoughts?
No.
No?
Is there a hard copy of the proposed agenda?
Should be in slot 2, or 1, I should say.
Which one?
On your-
2?
Number 1.
The first, as you
Oh.
first open it up.
Oh, yeah. 4.
Maybe hiding behind there. So,
Are the ones that are crossed through on the proposed second and fourth, the ones that we would not be, there are holidays, so we wouldn't meet?
Those are holidays. Yeah, Memorial Day and
Columbus?
Indigenous Peoples' Day.
No.
So I guess I would ask, would there be another May and October one that you could fit into? Brandon? Or no?
Oh, I'm sure I could, just not on a Monday. Of course, obviously couldn't do it on Monday, but I'm sure I could. I have Sutton first and third Wednesdays, and that's about it. Everything else is ad hoc, depending on what town I'm in, and
Okay.
all right.
there's 2 versions in here. Yeah,
Yes.
the first one is the first and third Mondays, and the second is the second and fourth Mondays. Mike?
Thank you.
Which one works for you, Brandon?
The 2nd and the 4th, I think.
Second and fourth.
I would like to propose that we do not schedule meetings, 2 meetings in July and 2 meetings in August. That's what we've typically done in the past, is in the summertime, only had 1 meeting. So I would propose that we only have the one meeting July 14th and the meeting on August 11th, and we do not have meetings on July 28th or August 25th.
Is that because it's typically slower, or just people on vacation, or both?
Both. It's hard to get people aboard, full board, because of people being on vacation, and then we just don't get as much before us typically. Consultants are a lot of times on vacation and that, so.
Doesn't necessarily mean that things slow down. I don't think they really slowed down this past summer, so we made it through.
I should also say that, I mean, I attend a lot of other towns' conservation commissions, and there's not a lot that have twice a month meetings. I was at a meeting in Brookline this morning, they do once a month. I was in a meeting in North Reading last week, they only have once a month. But, you know, we've traditionally had 2 per month, and we can keep it that way.
Is that how you spend your free time, is attending random conservation commission?
You would think
meetings?
so this week, or last week, yeah. One of my favorite things to do.
Quick question. It's not on the agenda, but was anyone able to go to the MAC conference?
Yeah,
We can talk about it later, I was just curious.
absolutely. The next one coming up is going to be in the first weekend of March. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. That is something we do need to talk about. Other than that, I mean, that would mean that May, we only have 1 meeting. June, we have 2. July, we have 1. August, we have 1. September, we have 2 again. October, we'd be back to 1. November, we're able to have 2 because of November we're able to have 2, and then December, able to have 2. So I think that's good.
I wouldn't be surprised if we had to throw a meeting in October when the time comes, because it's kind of the end of growing season. Folks trying to cram applications in, but we'll see how that goes. At that time, we may need it, but we'll see.
Right.
Would it be worth picking a date now, just to have it on the agenda?
Can, sure.
6th or the 20th.
It's just so hard because, I mean, we really rarely need a week apart meetings.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would rather keep October 13th. Oh, no, that's a, okay.
Holiday.
That's
What holiday is it, Matt?
Indigenous Peoples' Day.
You just wanted to hear it. I got schooled on that this year for my little one.
Yep.
We could do one on Tuesday, the 14th, unless the room is taken.
Usually is. Let's see the FinCom or selectmen.
Okay.
Town meeting season.
Wednesday, the 15th. Monday, the 20th, and you'd have 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to schedule 2 weeks in a row.
it depends on the volume of applications and stuff, so we could just address it in September when that time
Yeah.
comes. For the meantime, just accept it as it is.
Is this something we should vote on or have to vote on?
Yes.
Yeah, vote on the schedule as
Do you want me to make a
presented.
motion then?
Yeah, if someone would mind making a motion.
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the Conservation Draft Commission hearing schedule for 2025, the second and the fourth one, excluding July 28th, no meeting, and August 25th, no meeting.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you. Next on our agenda, number 2 is new business, public meeting, request for determination of applicability, 206 West Street, map 160, lot 3, for land maintenance. Should I read, or do you want to waive?
It's up to you, sir.
In minutes. How about you, we may get a motion to waive the reading of the public hearing notice.
Sure, I'll make a motion to waive the public hearing notice for 206 West Street, map 160, lot 3.
Second.
Thank you, Brendan. Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to waive the reading of the public hearing notice. All those in favor?
Jim Farn, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Greco, aye.
And Mark Mungem, aye. All right, the meeting is now open. Is there someone here representing 206 West Street that we can talk to?
Keegan Van Sicklen, owner, co-owner,
Thank you.
minority co-owner, primary co-owner.
Can you explain what it is you're proposing and why you're requesting a request for determination of applicability?
Just as we discussed at the last meeting, we were just cleaning up some weeds and restoring it to what thought was its previous state. It was all overgrown with like toxic weeds and such like that. No work aside from grass seed and stuff has been done since the last meeting. And I think it was determined when the satellite images showed that, I think it was 02 or 03, it was actually opened up maybe a hair more than we have it now. So, just here for, begging for forgiveness and the education of if I want to do anything down there, I know who to talk to now.
Okay, thanks.
Matt came by this morning, took photos, and
Oh, if you have photos, if you have an update? Thank you, Matt.
So the ones that can zoom.
Sir, can I have co-host, please? Can I have co-host, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
All set.
Thank you.
So here's a photo from up above, kind of looking down at the area. If you recall from the maps that Brandon showed last meeting, he kind of showed a scale that showed the area from, what was it, 1998 forward, showed the land as it became a scar, and this has been as it is since then, since the new owners bought the property. When I went out there, there wasn't any evidence of stumps or any logs or anything like that. Nothing large had been removed. It looks like just routine maintenance of an area that was already cleared. So there is some vegetation still left remaining on the side of the river. The applicant did say they were going to try to see if any of that stuff's poisonous to horses, they'll pull it out by the roots if that's necessary. There's also a little path for animals or whatever that goes right over the river there. It's just already there. It's been in existence for a long time. You can just tell by the earth and the rocks. This is kind of one of the other views of the rock wall along the sides. And this is the back end where this little rock wall is kind of the divider between the river and the edge.
And that's old, too?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, like, most of it's been just maintained. I think he plans on seeding this and making it stable. This is kind of the low point, I guess. There's some water here on the edge. But this is kind of where the river this is the edge of the clearing, where it kind of pours over a little bit into this little area, but it can't get uphill very much at that point. But just another shot of the entire area. It's all been graded. It's ready for seeding. Just another shot of the entire space. Oh, that's a horse. Sorry. He made the picture, so. And these are the original, sorry, that's the original video I took from the street before, when we found out about it, so. I think we showed this at the last meeting, so I don't need to show that again. But anyway, so those are my pictures. Commission, I think the history kind of speaks for itself in this case. When Brandon showed the aerials before, it kind of talks about how this area was already cleared. Looks like the applicant did some routine maintenance, didn't take down any stumps or any large trees or anything like that, so it didn't really disturb the earth. So I'm okay with the negative DOA on this.
What is the proposal for reclaiming or for planting and maintaining this?
Just grass. That's the only plan at the moment.
Okay, and maintenance?
We keep it mowed, yeah. Just so it doesn't overgrow ground and weeds and all that fun stuff, so. It looked like the property had been dormant back there for many years before we purchased it. It was, yeah, like I said, just very overgrown.
Would you be, I shouldn't ask it this way, but would you be opposed to not maintaining, not mowing an area within 25 feet of the stream?
So that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's probably a good 10 or 15 feet already, so that'd be totally fine.
There's a good,
Because, this work does go, looks like pretty close to the stream, which is a perennial stream. So it's within the riverfront area. Any thoughts from the commission members? What we should do?
I mean, I'd be okay with the 25 feet from the riverfront. I think that's fair.
I think what they're doing looks good.
Yeah.
Are there any other types of plants that should be planted along the riverfront area to help maintain that kind of boundary, or is it necessary?
I would say that it would be nice to have something that's not just grass that can be mowed. That's what I am concerned about here, is that I don't feel like it should be mowed right down to the water's edge. So I think there should be a border of more native grasses, maybe shrubs and things like that, to kind of create that setback. And
I would definitely not be mowing. I like the blades on my lawnmower. There's definitely still a lot of softball-sized rocks down there, so I mean,
Yeah.
25 feet, I think it's going to reclaim and do its thing.
I don't mind if you, you do an annual mowing to make sure that the woody plants and
Yeah.
the brush and stuff
It's not gonna
doesn't
be a
take
soccer field.
over. But I just
By any
would like
means.
it to know that we're not maintaining a lawn right down to the water's edge.
That's not the intent. A natural field or meadow.
Any thoughts on plants? Like high bush blueberry is a typical plant that grows in those type of situations, so that would be something that we have requested in the past.
We need to consider if those are dangerous for animals
Yeah.
also. Blueberries, I don't know, are they? Maybe a quick-
Well, he's not boarding the animals down there.
No.
He shouldn't be boarding the animals down there, so I'm not going to be too concerned about, right? I mean, the horses are not, it's not
Nope.
pasture land.
Nope.
Okay.
No, but I think they talked about bringing the horses through there and removing anything that was poisonous to the horses before.
Yeah.
So if the blueberry was,
We come back from a ride and they stopped to munch some grass. That was kind of like our biggest concern. But no, they're not going to be boarded down there. They have their stalls up top.
So, I mean, I would like there to be a condition that the area within 25 feet of the stream can be planted with grass, but be let unmaintained or minimally maintained, and that there be, we'll say, 10 blueberry shrubs planted within that 25-foot zone. They can be next to the river, they can be away from it a little bit if you want, but to kind of create an area that away from the, so that would be my condition. I don't know.
Is the
that-
blueberry a problem for the horses?
I don't believe so.
If it is, the applicant can request a different shrub, in my opinion, that they feel is more conducive, or is, if it's an issue for the horses, I don't mind that.
Where did they go to get blueberry bushes? Does it matter? And what size or any of that, or is it just,
Blueberry bushes are a shrub that typically you get in a pot, and they're only a couple feet tall.
Says they can be dangerous to horses if given in excess or if the horse is allergic to them. So, I
Give
mean,
them a lot of hay.
All right.
They look healthy.
They are.
okay.
Let me make a motion.
Someone want to make a motion? They already,
Oh.
Public comment?
true. Any public comment? Anybody on Zoom that have any comments on this proposal? All right, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do you want to make a motion?
Sure.
Someone?
I'll make a negative RDA with no one within 25 feet of the riverfront, condition with the area of 25 feet of the stream can be planted with grass and a minimum maintained, and 10 blueberry shrubs to be planted.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded with the condition. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brennan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll have that ready for you tomorrow to pick up.
Okay, awesome. Great. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Should be a signature folder in there.
All right, item number 3, under old business, public hearing continued, notice of intent of Douglas Town and Water and Sewer Department, 59 Depot Street right-of-way for water main improvements. State your name and address, please.
Robert Manerick, Town of Douglas Economic Development. And I believe Mr. Sullivan is remote.
All right, thank you. Do you have any new information to present to us?
Mass DOP came through with a file number, and they had some comments on that same submittal. Stantec issued a letter today addressing all 4 comments.
It's 1114.
Yeah, the file number is 143-1114, 1114.
Are the comments something that we can be shown, or
Yeah.
I don't have them in our file, so.
They just came in today. I've reviewed them.
Do you want me to make quick copies of all these for you?
Where I am.
Beat you to it. Never mind, I got kicked out.
Oh, I get kicked out too.
Go ahead.
There we go. Yeah, so DEP had some comments when they issued the file number, and this is Stantec's response to DEP's comments. We can go through them, but I think that the comments are pretty straightforward and that Stantec adequately addressed them.
Okay.
That's what I said, that's not bad.
So the first comment is the applicant should clarify the scope of work associated with the culvert repair. Will the culvert walls require repairs as part of the project? One side of the box culvert includes small loose stones. Bank resource area is present within the culverted streams. The applicant should provide supporting information on the status of the culvert and the scope of work, quantify any proposed bank impacts, and demonstrate compliance with the performance standards found at 310 CMR 10.54-4 as applicable. Can you give me the response from Stantec, or is someone from Stantec here to provide a response?
I have the response up on the board right now. I don't know, somebody from the Stantec team or someone else from that team wants to do it. I don't know. If it's- Are they not even on?
I don't see anybody from Stantec up there.
Okay, well, I have no problem going through it if you want. Mr. Chairman, it's basically in call and response form with the questions. There were 5 that were presented. I don't know if you want to or not.
Yes, I'm going to read what the DEP response was, and then if someone else, whether it's you or the team, could tell me what their response to that, to the DEP's comments are, that would be great.
Okay.
So you read number 1 already?
I read number 1 already, yep. So I'm looking for what the response is.
The response, you want to read it, Bob? You want me to read it?
Sure, I'll read it quick. The response, only the top slab of the 3-sided box culvert is proposed to be replaced as part of the project. The damaged top slab will be removed and replaced in kind by the contractor performing the work on the project. To prevent temporary impacts to bank while work on the culvert and head wall are performed, a temporary timber work platform shielding will be used, which will span the stream above the bank. Approximately 8 linear feet of bank will be exposed temporarily while the slab is being replaced. The work on the culvert shall be in compliance with 310 CMR 10.54 parentheses 4 as applicable. This has been added as note number 6 on the revised sheet C, as in Charlie 102 of the plan set, included hereinwith.
So based on your reading, the plan has already been changed
Been
to,
changed. And I don't have the
identify.
updated plan. Did you get a plan set, Matt?
Okay. Okay. I think we'll go through this, the letter and the response, and then maybe pull up the plan, and we can refer to the different instances of their comments on the plan. I don't want to go back and forth between the letter up there, and so. The next item of concern, temporary BVW alteration is discussed in the narrative, but it is not quantified on the Form 3. Alterations to wetland resource areas, even if temporary, should be quantified. The applicant should update Form 3.
To my knowledge, WPA Form 3 has been revised to include the potential temporary impacts to BVW as discussed in the narrative on page 3 and is included in this response package. Again, I don't have the response package or the drawings.
And the note, you didn't say what the temporary impact is in your note, which would have been nice if they would have said it's 100 square feet or 10,000 square feet. But, I mean, it should be noted here that this is a temporary impact, you're saying, correct? Okay, thanks. The commission may, number 3, the commission may want to consider including conditions that require a monitoring period and steps to ensure that temporarily impacted wetland resource areas are mitigated prior to the issuance of a certificate of compliance.
Stantec's noted, comment is duly noted.
Right. Yeah, this note is more for us than it is for the proponent. Number 4, an operation and maintenance plan should be provided for the project to demonstrate compliance with Standard 9 of the Mass Stormwater Standards.
Stantec's response and operations and maintenance plan was referenced in section 4.8 on page 6 of the stormwater report dated September 23rd, 2024, and submitted as part of the NOI filing. Per the section 4.8 of the stormwater report, the town of Douglas will perform operation and maintenance of the stormwater structure under the provisions of the town's MS4 permit. The project specifications require the contractor to develop a site-specific O&M plan. And it says see attached. Again, I do not have that attached.
I have the attachments.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bob. So it sounds like that has been addressed, and an O&M plan is being provided, so.
And there'll be two of them, one by the town, one by the contractor, for the way I read it.
Okay, number 5 from the DEP was all updated materials shall be provided to Mass DEP and to the commission. Of course, the commission should refrain from closing the hearing until all updated materials are received.
Stantec's response, the hearing is currently continued until Monday, October 21st, 2024, which is tonight.
Okay.
Matt, do you have all the attachments?
You do.
You do?
Yeah, I have, A through J, A through K, and then the revised Form 3, and the O&M attachment, it's all here. Yeah. Try to share it if you'd like. I can't open everything all at once. Do the plan first. It's the updated plan. It's gonna be hard to see.
That is the correct drawing, C102.
Where is the, it's right here, right?
So,
Right here.
That looks cool.
Might be in the notes.
Is note 6 to the right?
Yeah.
There it is.
I can read that if you can't read it.
Again, the work in, oh, hold on. Somebody check. The work in the vicinity of the culvert shall be in compliance with 310 CMR 10.644 as applicable. An adequate stockpile of sedimentation control material should be on site at all times for emergency or routine replacement. It shall include materials to repair silt fences, straw bales, stone riprap, filter dikes, or any other devices planned for use during construction.
So that's identified as that's the change. Oh, a note's been added, note number 6 on revised sheet C102. So no plan to the drawing
No,
whatsoever, just a sheet note added.
correct.
So the applicant, the DEP has noted in their letter, the applicant should provide supporting information on the status of the culvert, the scope of work, and to quantify any proposed bank impacts. Are those bank impacts quantified?
That would be with the span, with the timber span.
All sorts of attachments here.
A temporary timber work platform shielding will be used, which will span the stream above the bank.
To add.
So that, if that is the case, and you're saying that there is zero impact, it should say there is no impact to bank. Oh, I'm sorry. It says it. Approximately 8 linear feet of bank will be exposed temporarily while the slab is being replaced. So it is quantified here in the letter. Is that only in the letter, as far as you know?
I don't see that on the drawings. Will this be incorporated into your order of conditions?
Yes.
That will become part of the contract.
Yes. The response from Stan Tech would be incorporated. I think that was the only drawing change, correct?
As far as I can see, that's the only drawing change.
Yes, looks like it to me.
Matt, do you have revised WPA Form 3?
Yep.
Something was changed on that form as well,
Okay.
and I don't have a copy of that.
I have it up on the screen. And,
Brendan, you weren't here for the last meeting. Do you want to see the plan in more detail or anything? Are
No, thank you.
Or you're okay with it?
sign them all voters.
Say what?
You either had to read the minutes or watch the video of the last meeting in order to vote on this.
I didn't do that.
Okay, so you can't vote on that, so we're all for Revised Form 3.
Jim, you have any thoughts or concerns
No.
with
not
the
at this-
information, the new information?
Not at this time.
Brendan? You already said that, didn't you?
No, it's okay.
Sorry. Kate, you all right? Okay. Mike, are you all right with that's being proposed? Any comments from anybody in the public? Okay, no comments. Is there any objection to us closing the hearing?
No, I just want to confirm, we have 8 temporary square feet of disturbance to bank?
8 linear feet.
Linear feet.
That's right, linear feet, sorry.
Yeah,
All right, just want to make sure that, so I get that in the order conditions. Otherwise, we have 561 square feet of disturbance to riverfront area, and that should be it.
is that the revised Form 3? What
Yes.
you just mentioned there?
Yeah, which I have in front of me, and yeah, it's still at 561 square feet. That did not change.
The DEP letter said that BVW alteration is not quantified on Form 3. You said it stayed the same.
Riverfront area,
Oh. Riverfront area then is 561.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Do we need to have the bordering vegetated wetland area noted somewhere? Like,
I don't think we're going into the BVW, though. So,
oh, it's not
Yeah.
quantified because it's not applicable.
Right.
Got it. Thank you.
I can just close it, right?
Yes.
All right, I will close this public hearing for the Town of Douglas Water and Sewer, 59 Depot Street and Depot Street right-of-way, map 169, lot 54. Does anyone want to make a motion on the,
Make a motion to approve? Sure, I'll make a motion for the NOI for DP 143-1114, public hearing for the Town of Douglas Water Sewer, 59 Depot Street and Depot Street Row, water main improvements, map 169, lot 54, to approve the NOI.
Standard special conditions.
With standard special conditions.
conditions and with
Second. I'll second
the
that.
letter.
And with the letter.
Mr. Chairman, suggestion on the motion. I said this the first time, but include the long-term operation and maintenance plan as an in perpetuity condition.
So moved. To add that to it.
And just note this letter, October 21st, Stantec.
From, in the letter, October 21st, 2024, file number 50957 from Stantec.
Thanks.
You want that letter included in the order?
Yes.
Should it be? I thought it should be.
Oh, if you, then, yeah, just make the motion that it should be included.
And to make the motion to add that to be included.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Mike Greco seconds. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Abstain.
Kate Thompson, I.
Ed Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum,
0. Okay.
Okay, Robert, you're free to go.
That's it?
That's it.
Sorry, I mean, you can stay longer if you want, but
Did you get the funding? Weren't you waiting on hearing about getting additional funding?
That's for North Street, two separate
Oh,
projects.
sorry.
We have the funding for this one. Thank you.
yep.
Thank you.
Some of the funding needs to be approved at town meeting. Thank you, Board, for permission.
You are welcome. Okay, number 4, reopen the public hearing for Anthony and Denise Brookhouse, 35 Wallace Street, single-family home, map 185, lot 10. Do we have a DP number?
We do not.
We have no DP number?
Crazy.
Crazy.
That's
What,
ridiculous.
what was the number?
We don't have a DP number yet.
But
If I could, Mr. Chairman, Mark Allen with Allen Engineering. I did reach out to Mass DEP Section Chief Judith Schmitz last week with no return email or phone call. There was an extension that Kimberly Roth may be able to help us. And I did reach out to Kimberly Roth today. She did ask one question, of which was somewhat unrelated. She asked about the docks that were down on the lake that have been there for quite some time, even before the Brookhouses purchased the property. So I was hopeful that with that response that Kimberly would issue us a file number before tonight's meeting. But unfortunately, I keep refreshing the website since we've started, and I have not seen one yet.
Okay, thank you for the update. Are there changes to the plan that you want to present to us?
Yes, if I could share my screen, if you recall, at the last hearing, we were discussing about options, what to do with the grading on site that was in and around the 25-foot to 50-foot buffer zone. And we have made some good progress. I'm just going to bring it up. Can everybody see that screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of zoom out a hair. In orange, what I've done is I've highlighted the lower wall. You may recall the lower wall that was closest to the wetland area was in excess of 4 feet tall, and the building inspector had asked for some solutions, and we had sort of spitballed at the last meeting, what if we got the ability to get down there and pull the stones that are above 4 feet off the top of the wall and create a two-tiered boulder slope. In other words, the top stones that we pull off could be placed on the uphill side and create more of a what we like to call sort of a tiered slope. So what we've done is we've basically, we evaluated the site, prior to this plan. We made sure that the contractor could, safely and accurately get to where he needed to be without getting on the wetland side of things, which, all good things turned out of that meeting. And the site contractor was able to reach over and sort of parallel the slope and bring the stones from the low end to the high end. So, that was the best case scenario. I do have a few photos of how it started here tonight. And that's sort of just a look at where the existing stones were, sort of before we really got into it. And then the stones that were brought from the bottom side up to the top side are in this location here. So the contractor was able to create, a two-tiered system, at least for this first 30 or 40 linear feet. And these were taken, I believe, Anthony Brookhouse in the room now. I think that was taken over the weekend. That's looking the other way with the lower wall here to the left and the higher wall here to the right. Sort of the same shot, showing the excavator up on the high side, not getting down on the wetland side of things to do this work. So it was a very good solution. It's one that actually could be done without altering any other wetland resources. And the other item that we had mentioned to the board was we were going to have Pete Yablonsky from Paradigm Landscape bring a new planting plan to show what's going to go be planted in between the two tiers and on top of the two tiers. So I believe Pete is on the line tonight. I'm going to let him speak a little bit more to what the species and the plantings and the density are on the interim tiers and on top of the top tier.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Just state your name and address again, please.
Pete Yablonsky from Paradigm Landscape. So we kind of took a little bit of a survey of what was below the wall. A lot of the ground plane consisted of some hay-scented fern. There was some bits of clethra, a couple of serviceberry mixed in. And we decided to kind of sample that same plant palette and carry that to the upper slope. So between the two tiers, the idea is that we're fully planted, continuing that native plant palette, mixing in some larger serviceberry, kind of more on the ornamental side, 3 to 4 foot plus, getting into some clethra, mixing in a little bit of winterberry, some high bush blueberry, and then in terms of stabilization and ground control, utilizing a bunch of low bush blueberry in patches in between the wall segments to fill in for any sort of kind of root stabilization. Perennial, we'd like to use a fair amount of hay-scented fern and keep with that kind of consistency of what's below the wall and carry that to the upper side. I think that for any areas that we cannot completely cover, the idea is that we've used some sort of a wildflower or a meadow mix or potentially even some conservation mix to fill in any of those areas that are unstable, to make sure that we don't have any kind of runoff or erosion issues post-planting.
Okay, thank you. That everything?
Yeah, so that was what we had discussed last time. We mentioned that we were going to bring that to your attention, and it turns out that we could do that physically and now on the plan view as well.
What does that leave you with for a slope between the two walls approximately?
It's a 2-to-1 slope.
Oh,
So you
still
can kind
that
of
steep.
see in between the two walls, there's going to be an 8-foot area from top of wall to face of wall, and there's going to be a 4-foot grade change in between the two walls.
And above the wall, this looks like the planting plan shows you're planting the same type of material above the upper wall.
Yes, yep, so there's a series of plantings between the two walls, and Pete just explained that he carried a lot of those species up on top of the wall as well.
Any commission members have any thoughts or concerns?
And with your blessing, Mr. Chairman, we wanted to get this done this week. He's ready to do it Wednesday. We've got great weather, and get it done and wrapped up and no erosion.
Looks like a pretty thorough plan.
It does. I mean, I don't have an issue with it.
There's no DEP number yet.
We can't close it.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Can we like at least grant them to do the shrubberies?
Yeah, I don't mind.
You can do native plantings. You can plant native plantings in the buffer zone. It's an exempt activity. So that you can do.
Can we approve it pending DEP number be issued?
Nope.
No.
Because we can't close it.
Yeah, the thing you gotta remember is that the Conservation Commission does the hearings and all, but you still report to DEP. They're still the umbrella organization, so if they don't say Haynes, we don't say Haynes.
And when they give the number, they usually have a comment, so we kind of have to hear their comment before we...
Right, so if you close before they issue a file number, and then they had a comment, and it's already out the door, that's a big problem. So you have to wait.
So he can't plant?
No.
Oh, he can plant.
He can
So-
plant.
So one of the quirks of the regulations is that people have the ability to plant native plants in the buffer zone, even in the wetland, as many as you want, as long as they're native, no permit required. So they're good to do that.
So are these native plants?
Oh, yeah. They're all,
I want them to tell me.
Yes, they are. I think
Yes.
Pete explained that.
Yes, I'm sorry. The entire plant palette is a native plant palette. And we are trying to stay very, very consistent. And I think overall, the entire property, even the planting that's going to be happening throughout around the pool area into the front foundation planting is all going to be, predominantly a native palette. So
Okay.
I guess from that perspective, what we're using just in those slopes should meet every requirement of conservation.
And are these plants available?
All except the hay-scented fern right now is. I took a look at some lots the other day. They're a little bit. They're cut back essentially. They still have good root structure and they're still healthy plants. It's just we won't see much once they get into the ground.
Right.
But all the shrub material is 100% available.
Okay. Yeah, so
Plant away?
I'm okay with you planting.
Okay.
I think we're, as a board, okay with you planting, so,
And we just need our DEP number, and then we could potentially close it out at the next hearing.
yes.
Got that, Mark?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course you may.
Curious if Mr. Allen had been working with Ken Frazier on the wall. Have you guys talked about that at all? Working with the building commissioner to get the wall within his purview? The terrace?
I believe Dave Aspinwall and maybe Tony, to some extent, may have been in discussions with the building inspector, not only with these two lower boulder walls, but more so with the concrete block walls. Am I correct, Tony?
Yeah, which one are you asking? The two-tier?
Yeah, the two-tier.
So it's 4 feet or under, so it's not in his jurisdiction.
That's good.
And he was out there, and I showed him everything.
Great.
Everything else needs an engineered stamp, and those have been poured, and he's been good to go with that, so.
Great.
continue.
Make a motion to continue?
Make a motion to continue, where is it, sorry, 35 Wallace Street, map 185, lot 10, for November 4th.
November 4th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brendan. All those in favor of continuing the public hearing to November 4th at 6:30 PM?
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Pete Thompson, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I haven't seen you this much since our kids were running cross-country.
I know. I wish we were still those days.
I do too.
My son ran a race this weekend, and it was fun to go watch.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Out on this one.
All right. Next up is number 5. Not 4, not 3, 5. DEP number 143-113, public hearing for Kyle and Crystal Genesi, 122 Walnut Street, map 274, lot 7.2.
Hi, good evening, Karen Keegan from Allen Engineering.
Good evening.
We were here at our last meeting. This is an existing gravel driveway that he is looking to widen out and replace an existing culvert at the crossing of this wetland area here. There were things that Brendan wanted us to put on here, like he wanted us to have all the trees located that were within the area of work. I have located them and marked them on the plan. There are a total of 14 trees that need to come down. They were either in the right-of-way or they are in the area of the wetlands that needs to be graded or a wall has to be put in. He asked us to locate the hemlocks in the replication area. We have done so. And again, there are 14 trees coming down. Most of them are in this area, and of course, there are a few in this area here.
Thank you. So are all the shaded trees that are noted to be removed?
Yes, most
Okay.
of them are small. The homeowner has made note that he doesn't want to, if he doesn't have to take them down, he's not going to take them down. But they are within the right of way. If he wants to leave them there, he can leave them there, I guess.
Okay.
And there is a large one at the beginning of the entrance of the driveway that he would like to keep.
And
That's fine. If he wants to do that, that's fine. But the ones that are up in the wetland area up here are the ones that are necessary to come down. It's going to have to be a grade in there. Put those concrete walls in. And I guess Brendan wants us to keep the hemlocks that are in the replication area.
There's really only one.
What? No, there's a 30-inch hemlock.
And a 20.
The dead hemlock that you showed a picture of, and the
looks like it's
28-inch hemlock.
Well, the 28-inch hemlock's already in, oh, yeah. I thought the 30-inch hemlock looks like it's outside. Am I wrong?
No, you have a 30-inch one in the front here, the first part of the wetland.
The dead hemlock.
Then the dead one is outside of it,
Right, that's what I was saying.
yes. And then you have the other hemlock. Then there's a cluster of 3 14-inch maples in there.
The maples can go. I'm more interested in seeing the 30-inch hemlocks, even the dead one, because that's a good wildlife tree, preserved.
What about, there's a 24-inch hemlock that looks like it's right on the edge of the limit of work line.
Right, that's outside of the.
That's outside of it.
Replication area, and I think what Karen's saying is if they can't keep it, they will, otherwise, it's going to have to come down.
Well, I guess I'm not understanding, because it looks like it's outside the limit of work,
And
so
I
why
just
would it
showed
come
all
down?
of the trees that the crew had located out there, so if it was a little bit outside, then it got put on the plan.
All right, I'm confused, because you said all the shaded trees are being removed, so I thought that was a shaded tree.
Me too.
No, I've kind of marked them
Okay, so,
in the table here.
so Mr. Chairman, if there are any particular trees that you absolutely don't want to see come down that look like they're outside the limit of work, you can specify that in the order of conditions. I think it was a good thing that they showed them all, even if they were slightly outside the limit of work.
Yeah, oh, it's a great help.
Yeah.
Like, there's two right here that are outside of the buffer area. And even the ones that, so if you were to walk down there, you would be like, well, is this in the area, or that's going to be taken down, and it's not.
Right.
I mean, at the front, the bottom, that's a separate wetland area from the crossing area, correct?
It is.
Right. And then, so yeah, and you go through an area that's outside of the buffer for a
Right
little
here.
bit, right?
Yep.
And then you go back into the buffer.
Right.
And you go over the intermittent, over the wetland itself.
Yep.
Where the fill is. Okay, thank you.
It's in here.
Is the elevation of the crossing changing very much from what it's at now, or is it pretty close to the same?
It has to be raised a little bit because of the culvert and the cover over the culvert, because right now it's just a concrete slab out there. So yes, it needs to be graded.
Commission members, any questions or concerns?
No, I was good with that.
Still looking, you okay, Kate? Brendan, you all right?
I missed last week, or last meeting, so I probably missed the crux of all of this.
My recommendation, Mr. Chairman, is to approve the plan, and in the wetland replication area, preserve the 30-inch hemlock or 30-inch dead hemlock and the 28-inch hemlock, because there's two different wetland replication areas with the one that's existing in the middle. So if you can preserve those three trees in the replication area, I'd like to see that in a motion. And if there are any other trees within jurisdictional areas that the commission wishes to see preserved, then have at it.
Okay.
Are you good with that?
Why do you pick the hemlock?
Because they're really big. The bigger the tree, the more valuable it is. From a wildlife perspective, from a carbon sequestration perspective, from a water quality perspective, from a ground stabilization perspective, all those things. The bigger, the better. Even if they're dead. And if they're dead, people say, well, it's a dead tree, so it's usually wrong. From a wildlife perspective, they're highly valuable because they provide nesting habitat for different kinds of birds that they actually create cavities, even things like squirrels, and they're full of insects, which the birds love. And they can provide great perching sites, especially if they're over water.
So if we're saving a hemlock within the proposed replication area, does that make the replication area smaller than what is being proposed because you can't do the grading around it?
There's going to have to be an island that goes around the drip line. It's going to have to preserve, it's not going to be dug down, so yeah, that is a thing, if you care about it. I've done this with the Corps of Engineers before, and they have not cared about having to make up the square footage for that, but that's just them. And we are under 5,000 square feet, so it's at your discretion. And if you want to, like, have the wetland replication area increased, what's our, Karen, what's our ratio right now?
It's twice the amount, so I'm disturbing 612 square feet, and we're replicating 1,225 square feet.
Okay.
So it's a 2-to-1 replication.
Yep.
I mean, if you wanted to, if you wanted to add more shrubs to it, we could take out one of the proposed trees that I was gonna plant, and that would give you more shrubs to plant if you wanted to. That way you save a hemlock, you get rid of one, you save one, you know, one for the other.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that.
Right now, you're proposing 1 swamp white oak and 1 red maple, and then
Yep. and
some
that portion,
blueberries,
yep.
sweet pepper bush, and spice bush. I think with the 2-to-1 being proposed, I wouldn't say that we need to expand it. I think we're fine with leaving those trees, and
Yeah, according to the wetland regulations, Mr. Chairman, it reads, Section 2.1.3, the area of replication must be at least 50% larger than the area of the original resource that will be destroyed. The actual area ratio of replacement shall be decided on a case-by-case basis.
So it would seem like that even with leaving the trees, we're at more than 50%.
It does to me.
All right,
So that's like 1.5 to 1?
right.
So they're doing 2 to 1.
2.0.
So I think they're in good shape.
Oh, it's up to me. All right, unless someone objects, anybody from the public have anything they want to comment on here? Nothing from the public. I will close this public hearing. Do you want to make a motion? Do you remember what? Fran
That was a
said?
lot.
It was just save certain trees. Save the 2 30-inch hemlocks and the 24-inch hemlock in the wetland replication areas.
So moved. So moved to approve for 122 Walnut Street, map 274, lot 7.2. And standard special conditions. Someday I'll remember that.
Okay, the motion's been made, and is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, a second. The motion has been made and seconded to approve the notice of intent for Kyle and Crystal Genesee, 122 Walnut Street, DP number 143-1113, with the conditions noted. All those in favor?
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle abstain.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mangum,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, since they're here, could you possibly move up the item 11, which is a request for certificate of compliance for the same property?
Thank you, Matt.
Sure, I'll take on number 11. Certificate of Compliance, DP number 143-0623 for Kyle and Crystal Genesee, 122 Walnut Street, map 274, lot 7.2. All right. What is up with that?
I recommend a complete certificate of compliance, Mr. Chairman.
And this was a project that was started, not
was-
finished.
Well, it was for the original order of conditions.
Right, so now we have a new order of conditions, so we need to
Close out the old.
close out the old
Yeah.
one. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right.
So just make a motion to close it. Close it out.
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion for the certificate of compliance, close it out, DP 143-0623 for 122 Walnut Street, map 274, lot 7.2.
Second.
Are we approving to approve the certificate of compliance?
Do you have to, well, I asked. Yes, to approve.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the certificate of compliance. All those in favor?
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Ed Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you, have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Number 6. Are we? Do you have anything for number 6? Because there's nothing in the folder. Okay.
That was for file 623. We're now on 1113.
Only a couple.
Been a few years.
Yeah, not as many as you think.
Is this a certificate of compliance? Yes. Will be
Well,
another
the
one.
first one was for Depot Street, right? So that's the certificate of compliance, and that's the COC. Did we
This is
get
the COC. We
the
had-
OOC for
we
this
did.
one?
We
Still
did.
over here?
Is that a draft? Oh, sorry. That one's in there too, so.
This one's the OOC for water sewer.
This is the OOC for 122 Walnut. That's the COC for 122 Walnut. Should be file 623.
Yes, this is,
Yep, there you go. This is for the order conditions you just approved. I'll take a mic.
I'm impressed, you're on top of it tonight.
Yeah. We're not going to see Sam for a while, so. I know. Hey, I'm sending her to class. She has classes on Mondays, and she doesn't. So,
Well, you're deserving of another cookie if you want one.
I'm good. I already had two.
The certificate of compliance, that one can vote on.
Oh, here's another one.
She's taking a soil morphology class, which I am paying for. Hopefully she
Oh, I
doesn't.
hope
need
she
me
gets
as
something
much
from
as
it.
Well, as long as you treat her well, she probably won't.
Last guy thought I treated very well, but then another big company came in and swooped him right up. I was the small fry, you know?
I've got a resource direction in here. Where are we?
Number 6, there's nothing, just photos from Matt, he said.
Nothing?
Nothing,
Oh, I
so.
have some pictures.
You're welcome. You get this one too, Kate. Skips me.
All right.
So are we on the Fire Road, or which one are we on now?
Yeah, the Fire Road, I received a request to continue this from Mr. Betancourt just moments ago. They're still working on their plan, the revisions, so I asked for another continuance. So I just need to
Make a motion. So I will make a motion for DP 143-1112, 40 Perry Street, Fire Road, map 269, lot 13 and 14, to continue to our next meeting for November 4th, 2024.
Second.
All right, thank you. Motion's been made and seconded to continue the public hearing for DEP number 143-112, Christopher Betancourt, 0 Perry Street. All those in favor?
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Ed Greco, aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question about this?
Absolutely.
What is a fire road? Does that just mean access, safe access for a fire truck to get into a piece of property?
That's what they're saying.
So is it normal for a property owner to want to install a fire road into their property? Is that It just seems strange to me. I've never heard of such a thing.
I don't think it's something we've had yet. Not such large property owners have proposed this yet, so.
I've been doing this in Massachusetts for 21 years. This is the first one I've seen.
So if something like this is voted upon, I mean, if the request is to gain access for a fire truck to protect the property in the case of the fire from whatever the many miles away from the other access point and prevent, it makes some sense. Is it possible for us to limit that if it's designed and intended for that use, that it's only allowed to be used for that?
While it's permitted as a fire road, but they will have the ability to come back in with a new notice of intent if they want to upgrade it.
Upgrade it to a full access road?
Yeah. They can't just say, okay, we have a fire road, and now it's going to be a road, and we're going to start using it as a road. No further approvals required. That can't happen. They would have to come back, because there would be improvements that would need to be made to the road to make it, street worthy. Yeah.
Would it come back to us, or would it come back to planning board?
Both.
Both, okay.
Because it's within the district, right? Within our area.
Right, it would require site plan review, stormwater, all that good stuff.
So in the event when we review this again, we would put limitations on it that would certainly prevent them from circumventing the Concom? Or you don't need to put any restrictions on it?
You absolutely can make a special condition that protects you and say, if the fire road is going to be used for anything except for, emergency access for fires, which
I apologize.
the name fire.
Point of order, we can't really be discussing this right now, because this is the hearing's not open.
We're talking about the
Possible conditions.
Possible conditions, sure. So let's keep it very general then. Yeah.
Sorry. It's not fair the applicant not here.
Point taken.
All right.
It's okay.
Next up is enforcement orders for Birch Street. Do you have an update on that, Matt? Did they get his seating done, do you know?
Well, if you look at the image on the screen, this was taken at 4:10 today. There is no seating done. It still looks exactly the same. In fact, there's even more sand here. And the driveway's kind of over here, or at least the steps are a little further down. There's even more sand in this corner. And then, kind of built up his own little dirt berm here.
Is that new from
Yeah,
last
there
time?
were hay bales here, but now there's like a dirt berm. It's not gonna deter anything.
No, it just is loose soil, which is worse, because that
Right.
woolly road and definitely end up in the pond.
Right. So our RDA asked him to have this seeded and stabilized by Wednesday of last week, and no work has been done.
You already voted on it, Mr. Chairman, so you can start signing it at any time.
What's that?
You can start signing that at any time.
I can.
You can. You already voted on it.
All right.
Well, I think we should put an enforcement for a fee.
A ticket?
A ticket, thank you.
Yeah, it was right on the RDA with the date, and no work has been done to date.
These were from today, you said?
Yeah, these are from today.
Good.
Back that way.
I thought you were giving me Birch Street.
No.
And these people were aware?
Yep, they were here last week, last meeting.
Yes,
We
they-
asked them to attend the last meeting. He came, we discussed it.
He said he
was
would.
Yeah.
all-
Yep.
He's adamant.
Yeah, no problem. He'd have it done.
Can I backdate it? Can we backdate the fine, if we're going to issue a fine to them?
I don't recommend doing that. I would just start from today,
Okay.
if you're going to do it.
What is a fine in a circumstance like this?
Not to exceed $200 a day, which pretty much means $200 a day.
It's a violation of condition of an RDA.
It doesn't matter. It's a violation. Violation's a violation.
Yeah.
So, your call. We have had some success over the wintertime. I think the Conservation Commission brought in about $130,000 to $140,000 in fines this winter. Lots of tickets were written at $200 a day. That's a lot of tickets that were written, so we know how to do them if you decide to go that route.
May I ask where that money goes? Is it to Mass DEP? or
Nope, it goes
town?
into the town general fund. Yep. Does not go into the conservation fund.
That was on my list of things to ask at the end.
Yep, nope.
So,
Nope, because then it creates what's called a perverse incentive.
Got it.
Yep.
That's fair.
So if we do issue tickets, are you required to collect the money?
The district court collects the money for us.
And they love Brandon now.
Oh, God.
They give you a badge or something?
No, he's being sarcastic. We brought in so many tickets every time we came in with a stack of tickets like that, because they have to process them all individually. Like, oh, here comes Brandon again.
So even
Do you wanna do a
even though
fine?
we asked for stabilization of this area, there's no evidence of runoff across the street or anything like that. I just want to make sure that if we're issuing fines on this, we're issuing them on a violation.
So the violation would technically be for not even planting the grass seed.
Right. As a condition of its determination of applicability, is that legit?
Let's look up, let's bring up a sample enforcement order. There's already an enforcement order on this, right?
Yes.
And it's still open, so can you bring that up, Matt?
His enforcement order?
Yeah, bring up his enforcement order, we'll go through it.
Let's see.
It's in the book, right? It's under, well, I think it's in item 7, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Good job. Okay.
Technically, he did set up erosion control measures at the base of the driveway, right?
Yeah, he did do that.
I mean, technically.
Right.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but
He was asked to file a notice of intent, but instead, it was downgraded to an RDA. Okay. So, and what does the RDA say?
DOA asked
Bring that
them to plant seed and stabilize the area south of the stairs where it meets Northwest Main.
Can you bring the actual DOA up?
Yep. I can.
It'll make the motion easier to get to that point.
Second. This is the signed one, but this is what went out.
Project, okay, let's go down to the negative determination with the conditions. Okay, so it's a -3, which means it's buffer zone work only. Applicant must stabilize the area beneath the new stairs that slopes towards Northwest Main Street with loam and grass seed mix by October 15, 2024 to prevent further erosion. There's your actionable item. So if you decide to write a ticket, you could, any motion that I would recommend say that the applicant is in violation of the condition of the determination. That's really all you need to do. And tickets tend to get people's attention. tend.
And the fine, it's per day or per business day, or?
Yeah, but you can do it however you want. You can do it on a daily basis until the proof of the seating comes in, or you could do it a one-time thing, send him along just one $200 ticket to get his attention, and then return to it 2 weeks from now when you come back. However you want to do it.
I would be okay with just a one-time fee just to get his attention. I don't want to make anyone like bankrupt or anything. I think $200 is a decent amount of money, no? What's your thoughts?
I'm in agreement with you. I don't think it's, I don't know,
He's not a business, I don't want to
I feel awful about
premium.
giving somebody a $200 a day fine for something like this. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm probably a sucker like that, but I think a $200 fine, and then say you got to have it done by within the next 2 weeks, and then you could enforce further daily or even just one larger monetary fine at that point if we had to. I've been told I'm too nice before, though, so keep that in
No,
mind.
no, you make a good point. And I mean, I've been sitting here wondering what the right thing to do is as well. And I don't want a guy to rack up $1,000 worth of fines in a week if he can't find a landscaper to come and do the work, right? I mean, that's not fair.
Right.
But yet I look at the enforcement order, it was June 7th this started. You know, it's been a long time that it hasn't really moved like it should. He did do some work at the top, right? Where he stopped the water from coming down the stairs and that route. But I think that I would be in agreement with, let's hit him with a $200 fine and have him come to our next meeting, or first off, have him try to do the work before the next meeting.
And here's something to think about, too. If he does the work before the next meeting, you could always suspend it. You know, sometimes it just acts as a way to get people's attention, because some people, a lot of people, I should say, when it hits their wallet, that's when they really start to pay attention.
Yeah, I think that's
And he'd say, if he comes in, like, oh, we did all the seating, here's the proof, got your ticket, so sorry. And he said, all right, thank you for doing it, suspended. So you have that option as well.
We do. I would prefer not to go that option, because the October 15th was a date for a reason. And that is, it's getting colder, the days are getting shorter, we're not getting germination. So there was a reason why we used October 15th as a date that it should be done. So I'm not. As it gets later, the work may not be as successful. And therefore,
Correct.
there may be additional work down the road.
And Mark, you said this had been going on since June?
Yeah, the enforcement order is June 7th. Well, I don't know, no, it's May.
Yeah, May 9th.
May 9th. I'm looking at C order, June 7th. Complete the attached notice of intent by June 7th. So, May. All right. Someone want to make a motion then to
Sure.
issue a fine of $200 and an order? Do we update the enforcement order? Is that what we're doing? Or
No, just a $200 ticket with a cover letter stating what the violation is, and to do the work, and to please come into the November, was it 6th meeting? The
Fourth.
November 4th meeting for an update.
So moved?
And the work has to be done by that date, is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to, now it's gone, left my head. So motion's been made and seconded to issue a $200 fine, and that he should have the work done by November 4th and should attend the November 4th meeting. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye. Write a ticket.
Do it.
Let's being kind. Didn't want to make you rate 100.
At one point, we were writing, 12 a day?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
So when you write the ticket, you have to deliver it to
Courthouse.
Oh, it's.
courthouse, and then they deliver it to
Oh,
the
no,
person.
I have to deliver it here to Jen Kuchar, who then sends the copy to the owner via certified mail return receipt. Copy stays here with the Conservation Commission for our records, and a copy I bring to Uxbridge District Court, and I drop it off with the clerk.
You sure can complicate things, huh?
Right, but then you have the court behind you,
Right.
because the way the tickets work is that the applicant, or the enforcee has 21 days in which to either pay or contest.
And do we email this person
So it's gonna have
to let him know what transpired tonight?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And the court will do the collection for you.
All right.
We cited the condition of the DOA as part of the motion.
Yes.
All right, next up is Lake Shore Drive.
Right, the only thing to do here, Mr. Chairman, is to sign the enforcement order, which was voted on. The amended enforcement order was written, reviewed, approved last meeting, but we did not have the signature page, so all you're doing tonight is signing what you approved at the last meeting. There's really no other discussion to be done on that particular matter.
Goes to Kate, I think.
John mentioned the DEP meeting.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I
So,
was going to say,
I-
I thought there were big news coming up.
yeah, well, let me see here. So it's on
Wednesday, the 23rd.
Wednesday, the 23rd, yes, at 10 a.m. The site walk will be done with the DEP on Lake Shore Drive. And now, this isn't necessarily for the boulder issue on the Moran property and in Manchog Pond, but for the road issues.
Okay.
That will be the main focus of that site walk. Because you remember at the last meeting, you all voted to ask DEP if they would just take the helm on this one.
Yes.
And I contacted them, I got a response, and we set up this meeting, should be the kickoff to them taking over.
Perfect.
Okay?
Can I speak?
Yes, please come up.
Dave K. Lakeshore. I'm here tonight because this 18-month fiasco is going to end. It's ridiculous. You know, we had a monsoon, and so I got these plans here. I think the Conservation Committee should focus on his rocks and all the property disturbed. You know, get being noticed out of. You know, you put 13, couple of jack with 13 culverts, and I put 12 inches diameter
Right.
to get rid of the spillway.
Yes.
And all, there was no material that went in the lake that came off Lake Shore Drive. Came off what he disturbed down below. That's all. It was only like 2 wheelbarrows. When he was in the pond with the excavator, he just smoothed them out. So I'm here tonight because of, for 18 months, I've just wasted my time.
It's been a lot of time.
Yeah, it was just, none of my material went in the lake. There was water. There's probably 50 places on the pond, where water went in. It's getting ridiculous. If you want to go to the next phase with the DEP,
Well, we feel like they're going to help us to be able to resolve it so that we can put it behind us, and you can put it behind you.
I'm show you that, the closest point to the road in the water is 133 feet.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we're here tonight for 100-foot buffer, right? That's what you guys deal with?
We do, that's what is under our jurisdiction, but our jurisdiction can extend when areas outside of that 100 feet contribute to the degradation of the resource area.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying, 100% of that resource area is down below where you took all the rocks out and everything. And, that puts stormwater, the 3 lots that are being built on, Jack Goodison put a great stormwater thing that works beautiful. And then the other 2 lots, they spent a fortune up there with engineering, and so, doing all the site work, to keep any water come on the road. And there's no water around there, Water goes downhill. I mean, it's not dirt, it's not sediment.
Right, well, it is better now, but it was sediment when this
That was
whole
sediment.
issue started,
That was
so.
just sediment, but it wasn't my sediment.
I can't tell you if it's yours or whose it is.
Mine,
But it's from that area, so.
That's why we have the DP doing it and dealing with it, so we,
If you have disturbed soil with 14-inch crevices and stuff like that, it's going to go in the water. That's what we did, we destroyed it. I don't hear anything about that. All I hear about is Lake Shore Drive. It's got nothing to do with conservation. That's water.
That's your opinion on that, so.
That's a fact. Those people spend fortunes up there for stormwater, which, Jack and the other 2 lots that they're building on now. They have engineering plans and blah, 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 and, I mean, but 13, 12-inch diameter culverts in there.
Right.
Jack did. I put a couple on the other side. But the only issue with hand here is the 3 lots, because the other ones go down the other side, and we've got catch basins up there. And I don't hear anything about being a foot of rain in 10 minutes, like the rest. It's just frustrating.
All right.
And it's cruel and unfair, because it's, like, I've been coming here for 18 months for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Lake Shore Drive has contributed in the past. It may not be contributing as much now as it did before because of the addition of the culverts, but it's still part of our order, still part of our review to be able to make sure that it's right. So that's all we can do. So we've asked the DEP to help us with that.
Mr. Chairman, just as a recap, I'm about to show a video that goes back to the original violation. Okay, so, hello. This is what it looked like. And the lake is down there, so that's number one, and then you look down a little bit further. Here we go.
That problem solved with sluice.
So that water is coming off of Lake Shore Drive after the turn and carrying down straight through the turn, basically, and over Mr. Goodison's property, over.
You know,
Yeah.
Jack, put all the culverts in there because, there was a sluice there.
And then this is down by the water. So, no, come on. It's a little jerky.
Right, it's pouring into the pond.
That's all I got.
No, I'm just saying.
But what it does is it shows the train going down, so, I mean, those videos show that the sediment did come from the road. DEP has all, I've forwarded, I've shared all this material with DEP so that they can hopefully transition it to them and out of this board's hands.
Yeah, the biggest thing though is, that was one storm, I've been down there for 40 years. That was one storm that, that happened.
Yeah, but conditions have changed.
Well, no, I understand that, I'm just saying, that's why you put all the culverts there. There's 13 culverts there, and we've had, the last 13 months, we've had a lot of rain, certain times, and they monitor them, and the water doesn't pass the third culvert. Then you get another 7 more after that, 12-inch pipe.
Okay.
I'm just being realistic.
Yep, so we have this meeting on the 23rd with the DP.
Yes.
Is that an open meeting, or is that a meeting
It
to
is,
be?
it is an open meeting that has been duly posted. So if anybody...
Members want to attend, they may attend.
Yes, you may.
We can't deliberate
Correct.
at that meeting, but we can attend.
Is that a site meeting?
And observe.
Yeah, it's a public meeting with a quorum of the commission may be present, so that it's been posted.
Yeah, so I can go, me and Jack Goodison can go.
Of course you can, it's your roadway, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the
It's this coming Wednesday,
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, with DEP.
Yeah. Is it the woman?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a gentleman named Tom Rabula. Whether he's the person who actually is assigned to it, we'll find out, but he's the person that I talked to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, anything new on CRG?
Does counsel for Moran still on the Zoom? Does he have anything he wants to say?
Anything you want to say, Glenn?
I would just like to thank the commission and Brandon and specifically for stepping into this situation. Mr. Cahill's clueless on everything associated with this. This isn't just a Concom issue. It's a DEP and a federal issue beyond your jurisdiction, but also within your jurisdiction. And we're happy to see that DEP stepping into this saga that's remained unresolved dating back to the planning board's approval without any stormwater of 10 acres of denuded construction site. It's a continuing problem. It needs significant mitigation. Mr. Cahill's utterly clueless as to the level of seriousness that hopefully DEP will have to this situation, and I trust that an administrative consent order, including with penalties, will be issued to all property owners associated with this.
That's our hope, and our hope is that this stormwater issue will be resolved moving forward. So thanks again. We look forward to seeing you in 2 days.
Okay, thank you. Any update on CRG?
Looking great, Mr. Chairman.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, that should round out the evening.
We still have one more. Number 10.
Yeah,
Old Farm Road, CFC.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, okay, I can give an update on that if you're ready.
Yep, I am ready.
Okay, so I went to the site last week to check out the whole area, but specifically focus on, there are 3 wetland replication areas that were required to be built. 2 of them were actually built. The third one was never built because it's in the area where they want to extend the road anyway. Remember they came in last year with the Woodland Road extension that they ended up, not you guys don't know, but they came on, they ended up withdrawing the application.
Sure.
But they're going to come back in again. So the 2 replication areas that I saw look great, and they comply with the regulations for wetland replication areas. So my recommendation is to issue a partial certificate of compliance because they were supposed to build 3, they only built 2. So I think they are eligible for a certificate, but only a partial.
Okay.
Yep.
So they are going to build the third eventually?
That's what they say. They're going to build a third eventually, and it's going to incorporate the new section of road they're going to build.
So should that happen tonight?
Yeah, the partial can happen tonight. They're looking for it too. They need to close out the old one in order to move forward with the new one.
Oh, and you should know, Brendan, that this has already been town approved as a road.
Okay.
So there's already been engineering done on it, and it's already approved as a town road. So it's really, needed to just, again, finish this off and get it approved.
Yeah.
And then they're going to resubmit for the...
For the
third.
crossing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, how do we,
We're only doing a partial tonight, so that way they can do the other part, right?
right, but you
Right.
said 2 of the 3, so how do we identify which 2 are done and which is the third? Is it 1 and 2 are done, or 1 and
It's
3?
1 and 2. I can specify what, the road they're on, the location they're on. But I would also, I'm also recommending that there be an in perpetuity condition, and I already wrote it down in the draft certificate of compliance. Give me a second to bring it up, so it can be put into a motion, and it's, as usual, the long-term operation and maintenance plan, which is the maintenance of the roadway infrastructure, the catch basins, the street sweeping, all that good stuff. So, let's see here.
That would fall in the town way.
Well, it's being issued to Tim Nealon, who is the applicant. I don't know, I still recommend, so the parcel certificate reads, "All work except for the 2,090 square foot replication area next to flags CA 63 and 64 and 12 and 13, which was never constructed." I'll bring it up on the Zoom for you, 1 second. So it might help you with the motion. There we go. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And the ongoing conditions were special conditions, stormwater management, 1A through G, and then special conditions 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 14, and 15, which all have to do with mostly have to do with stormwater. And if you want to see what those conditions are, I can bring that up.
No, I think we're okay.
Okay.
But the stick here is they can't get the next permit until this CFC is
Close this one out.
completely closed out.
No, not completely, at least partially closed out. They need something from the Conservation Commission to be able to legally move forward with the new proposal.
What is it that forces them to complete the third?
You know what, I never asked him, but he said that they need to do it. Is it something on your end, Matt?
Planning?
It might be something to do with a bank. Often it has to do with a loan to move forward.
Can be release of bonds?
There was a bond associated with this. Yes, yes, you're right. It has, there are bonds, so once you issue a partial certificate, you can release the bond too.
So what's going to force them to get the final wetland area, the third wetland area done? What forces them to actually get it done?
Doesn't sound like anything.
Well, and I guess I'm thinking through from a personal perspective at my house. To get the final C of C, there was really, the builder really had, there was no stick for the builder to really get the final C of C. There was no money withheld from him or a bond. Like in this case, at least there's a bond. You can say we're not releasing your bond until the third wetland is complete.
You can do that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious what it is that forces them to follow through on what hasn't been done once you give them the partial C of C.
There's nothing really unless you want to issue a fine to them.
Maybe this is more of a general question than I probably shouldn't have specifically asked here. But
No, it's a
good
very
question.
good question.
It's a good
I mean,
question.
there always should be something to bind you, to hold you, to make you do something if you're asked to do it, right?
Right.
So, makes sense.
Stormwater management, that's towards the end. Okay, so, one moment.
Here, I don't think we're going to ever be able to get them to do it. But I think it's a very good point you make for future notice of intents and conditions that we put together, that there always is something to kind of hold them to it.
Well, when they come for the next, apply for the next permit, could that be contingent upon them?
I mean, it could be, are there still building lots to be? There's still a road to continue and finish, right? And
Yep.
build more building lots. So
Yep.
we could certainly make sure that before any more building permits are issued, that it be completed. Or any more roadway constructed. That would definitely, if you
Yeah,
don't
the
want to be.
roadway would be the first, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, this goes back to 2003, right? And what I was told by the owner, or the group that built it all, they were the developers, is that things were going great, but it gets stopped cold in its tracks in the crash of 2008.
But they want to move on. They have another cul-de-sac that they can do.
Yeah, they can continue on the road through, they got to go through a wetland, and then you're back into upland forest, way, way in the back, where they have more room to build more houses. And that's what they want to do. So if they want to do that, they're going to have to eventually build that third wetland replication area. And there's a lot, you're right, there's a lot of trust involved here that they are going to do that. If they don't, you can keep it on your radar, and you can issue enforcement if you want to. But again, this is something that's been going on for 21 years now.
I would just say we add that condition.
It doesn't really allow you to do that. So it just reads ongoing conditions. The following conditions of the order shall continue. So you have to state the condition numbers. You can't add anything more on top of it. If you want to do more, I think the proper way to do that is through an enforcement order.
So what's your recommendation here?
Issue a partial with those special conditions as ongoing conditions. The partial certificate is specified what's not involved with it anyway. If you want to have a cover letter, for example, that states that, that goes along with this, that you have a you want to see the third one built or the new notice of intent in by a date certain, or else there would be enforcement action. You could do that. That's a good way to do it. Gets their attention. No wrong answers here.
Do you favor something like that, Brendan? I mean, it's
Yeah.
something.
I think we should, I think there should be something. I don't know what the right thing is, that's kind of why I asked, but
No, it's,
I think there should be some kind of stick to make sure it gets done.
no doubt, you got good questions there, Brendan.
Yeah.
I guess the next question would be, though, if we aren't here for some reason, this whole board swaps over and, 5 years from now, they continue this,
Yeah.
what's going to be there to make sure that they still build that wetland or rebuild it?
They have to read back through the paperwork to know what's already transpired, When I was writing up the draft certificate of compliance, I asked Jen Kuchar for the original order of conditions so I could read through it. The next person, if it's 5, 10 years from now and everybody at this table is gone, then somebody's going to take up the helm and look through the paperwork that's already been done so they can see what the history is to help inform their future actions.
Assuming they're as thorough as you are.
So,
So if we can't have that as a condition, then I would say that the letter that you spoke of would be appropriate to be included with the certificate of compliance, or the partial certificate of compliance.
that sounds great.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, well, the motion's been made and seconded to approve a partial certificate of compliance for DEP number 143-0572, Timothy Nealon, Old Farm Road, Woodland Road, map 237, lots 5 to 27, with the conditions as stated by Brandon. You don't need to show them back up, I guess. And with a letter to be attached to the certificate of compliance stating that the one replication area has not been completed and should be completed before moving forward with additional construction. Is that all right?
Yep.
All right. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, I.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you, everybody.
Mail order next, right?
Oh, there are mail orders. Sorry, I should have been doing these all along. Any other business that anybody wants to talk about?
Just a reminder about the MAC conference, if you still wanted to talk about it.
Yep. So we just had a MAC conference, correct?
On
It's their
Saturday,
Annual
yes.
meeting?
Yes, it was the fall conference, happened on Saturday. It was
Okay.
very well attended. There were over 300 people, which was a very good meeting for the fall conference. The spring, well, they call it the annual conference, will occur, a second here, I'll tell you what day. It's going to be in March. It's happening on March 1st, which is a Saturday, at Holy Cross College in Worcester. If you all want to go, somebody has to register y'all.
We will start getting information about that probably in the winter to be
You will,
able to
yes.
register.
Yes, you will.
Okay. And there's typically a fee
There is a fee.
to that?
Yes, there is a fee. But you can use WPA funds for that, so the money that you collect as part of the town share of the Wetlands Protection Act fee can be used towards paying for that and having members go to that conference.
Okay.
If you don't want to use that, you get money from your bylaw as well, so you could use that money if you wanted to. I am the co-chair for the annual conference, so looking forward to seeing you all there.
And they just, at this association meeting, they have, there's different programs that you can attend, right?
Yes,
Educational
it's like being a
programs.
fox in the hen house. There are so many workshops you can
Right.
go to. There's usually 3 or 4, there's 3 sessions, 2 in the morning, 4 sessions, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, about 75 minutes each.
Where'd that come from?
They have workshops, and there's like half a dozen different workshops you can go to in any one particular session, so you're like, oh my goodness, I want to do that one and that one, but I can't, so it's like, your kid in the candy shop, you don't know which ones you want to go to.
Was there water everywhere?
Well, that was the theme of the fall conference.
Was there on Saturday? Was there?
No, it was a beautiful dry day that everybody was saying, we want to be outside,
I
and
bet.
not in a workshop.
I bet. So if anyone's interested in going, I strongly recommend attending and, can learn a little bit more about wetlands laws or whatever, whatever you want to look in on.
Right.
And you get to meet other people that are doing this, and that's
Right.
always helpful too.
You're going to find out something that you didn't know yesterday, and you're going to meet somebody that you didn't know yesterday that you can collaborate with in the future. And they also have something called the MACC Fundamentals Workshops. And those are more all-day workshops, and I think you got to do 8 of them. And once you do all 8 of them, you get a certificate saying that you've completed the fundamentals and you have a certain level of, I guess, competency as a conservation commissioner. Yeah.
I'll never get that.
Why not? You're still young.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot to look forward to, don't I?
Like 8 all-day sessions?
Yeah, we don't have any employee training conservation budget. We have 0 for training. Maybe we ask for that for our next.
Well,
0 funds.
so when the the town share of the Wetlands Protection Act fee comes in, that should go into a individual account, right? That going to these kinds of workshops is one of the, the kinds of things that money can be used for.
Okay.
So,
No, that's good. It's just, we don't have it appropriated in a training account, that's all I'm saying. It's probably in
okay.
that main account, but.
It's really just the Wetland Protection Act account. So the money that comes in is part of the Wetland Protection Act fee. Half of it goes to the state, half of it goes to the town. So that money, the half of it goes to the town, should go into the Wetland Protection Act account. I don't know how Douglas has it set up, because it's, happened long, long before I got here, but you can use that money, in my opinion.
Good to know.
Yeah. And you take money in through the bylaw as well, and you have even more, what's the word? You have more ability to use the money however you want through the bylaw. Yeah.
Thank you.
If we have things that we want to add to the agenda in the future, what's the typical procedure to do that? Do we email Jen or?
Just reach out to me or John.
Okay.
Either one. No, agenda's then reviewed by the chair prior to the meeting. Kind of goes over everything that you said.
Yep, has to be in at least 48 hours before the meeting, or else you won't get on. Yep.
Yeah, so I typically will get something from Jen on like a Wednesday, and she'll tell me it has to be back by Thursday for her to post it. So that's, right now, that's about the time frame, so.
It tends to post it on Wednesday, just to be ahead of it. So.
And I always forget to look at it, or don't get a chance to look at it, and then it just gets posted. All right, anything else? Anybody? Did we talk about everything?
No.
Yes, we did.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion. What is it? To adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor?
Jim Moore and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.